Welcome to the world of quantum biofeedback. Quantum biofeedback is a futuristic based analysis, diagnosis cum treatment which is based on futuristic concepts. Quantum biofeedback is done using a machine called SCIO-EDUCTOR. Eductor means doctor. Doctor means a teacher. This machine analyzes our system and gives us the details of in which part of the spectrum of health we lie in terms of physical, mental, emotional and spiritual well-being. Gives us the cause for your disease and gives us the solution to switch you back to the health. As I told you, this is a futuristic concept-based test wherein during the analysis the machine sends in information at a very high speed into your system, your body, and does an analysis in the most fundamental building block of your body. High speed analysis means per second the machine sends in information 100 times into your body and brings out the analyzed information 100 times out into the machine, matches with the normalcy and give us a report which shows us in which part of the spectrum of health you lie. In this information what I have given you, you would have noted that I have been mentioning about high speed analysis and the analysis being done in the most fundamental building block of your body. Why we need to do a high speed analysis and what is meant by fundamental building block? Here we need to understand a little bit of physics. What is your body made up of? Your body is made up of head, neck, chest, abdomen, upper limbs and lower limbs, and they are made up of internal organs and tissues like the liver, spleen, kidney, heart, brain, and the tissues like muscle tissue, bone tissue, fatty tissue, vascular tissue and lot of tissues. So your body is nothing but a structure made up of internal organs and tissues. What these internal organs and tissues are made up of? They are made up of cells and intercellular matrix. Like the brick and the cement of a building, your body is nothing but made up of group of cells, and there is a glue which we call as the intercellular matrix which holds the cells together and to form the structure. What is this intercellular matrix and the cell made up of? The cells are made up of molecules of protein, carbohydrate, fat and microelements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, selenium, potassium, chloride, silver, mercury, gold and lot of other trace elements. So basically these molecules go into form your cells. Then what is this molecule made up of? Molecules are nothing but a group of cells, group of atoms. When there is a single atom, it is called as atom. When there is a group of atoms, we call it a molecule. So if you look at yourself at the end of it, you are nothing but a group of atoms. You are made up of a group of atoms. I am made up of a group of atoms. The table, chair and everything around us is made up of a group of atoms. So then there need to be some difference between the group of atoms that goes into make you and the group of atoms that make into me and the group that goes into making the table, chair and other existing things around us. So where does the difference lies? The difference lies inside the atom. If it is inside the atom, it means that atom is made up of something. Is it not? Atom is made up of a central nucleus you have called as made up of proton and neutron and an electron going around in an orbit. there is a space between the nucleus and the electron orbit which is called as a subatomic space. This space is the one which contains all the information about you, the present and the past many years. So, to know the details about your present well-being and your health, we need to go into a subspace that is called a subatomic space and analyze the information. But unfortunately, as you know, it is very difficult because the size of the atom. The tip of a pin has lakhs and lakhs of atoms. But literally, according to physics, atoms are not small. Most of the atoms are the size of a room, and some are even the size of a football ground. Nature or God or Almighty or whoever you call has created a strong force which has compressed these atoms into a minuscule structure. That way each and every atom has enormous amount of potential space inside and potential energy stored. We need to go into the space and see. Now going into the space is very difficult because atom is one of the most dynamic structure where the electrons move around the nucleus at a very high speed. Per second, the electrons move around the nucleus 100 times and jump from orbit to orbit 100 times. Such a high speed moving object is very difficult to understand and analyze. Let's say for example you are sitting in a station and your friend goes in a train at 100 km speed. I tell you that he is sitting in the third coach, second row, second in line, and he is having a pen in his pocket. Could you please tell me the color of the pen? Is it possible? It's absolutely not possible because the train is going at a high speed. But if I insist that you must tell me because it's a very crucial information, then there are possibly two answers. One is you can say stop the train, I'll go inside and see. The other one in physics we call as matching the speed. Matching the speed is you go in another train or another car or another vehicle at the same speed with which the train is moving, then you can see what is there inside. Even you can take the pen out, write it and give it back. So fundamentally if you match the speed of any high speed moving object, you can see what is there inside. The principle which is based into the science is the machine generates a wave which is called as a quantum wave, which goes into the system or into your body at the same speed which the electrons are moving, go into the subspace, subatomic space, analyze the information and bring it out as a feedback, send it to the machine, and the machine matches the values with the normal values and give us a report. This report is called as Warhope report, meaning VARHOPE, that is voltage, ampere, resistance, hydration, oxidation and cell vitality. These values, since it is coming from the atom which is an electrical entity with proton positive, neutron neutral and electron negative, the information that comes out has to be only electrical nature. That is why we have the voltage, ampere and resistance and hydration, oxidation and cell vitality. Now first we look at the voltage. Now when you look at the values, all the values have to be between 80 and 100. Anything below 80 and anything above 100 is considered as abnormal. If your value is below 80, it means that there is a deficiency, and if there is above 100, there is an excessiveness sort of. It's not literally deficient, excessive. There is an abnormality we call in the spectrum of your existence. Now let's say we are going to look into the voltage. Why we need to look at the voltage? Because our body is nothing but a biological machine which is made up of chemicals and run by electricity. So unless otherwise we know whether the problem is in the body or in the energy or in the battery which runs the machine, it is very difficult to find out where the cause of the disease lies. Let's say for example, I give you a 2-in-1 cassette recorder, a brand new one, Panasonic, and I give you a very melodious song, but put a old battery inside. If I switch it on, what will happen? Well, you know, because of the old battery, the machine either won't sing or it sometimes runs slowly and dragging and produces a noise rather than a song. If you are not aware of the problem of the battery, and I being the seller, you will definitely come and complain to me that it's not running. And if I opt to change the cassettes many number of times, or if I opt to change the machine many number of times, will it ever work? All I need to do is just to recharge the battery or put a new battery inside. What this example implies is a brand new machine with a perfect functionality can malfunction if the energy that runs the machine, that's the battery, is either low or not functioning properly. So similarly in our body, if the problem is in the battery, we keep on doing the investigations in the body, we never get a solution. That's why many people keep on doing investigations after investigation, carry bag after bag, and say that we have done so much of investigation and nothing has come positive. Because the problem is not in the machine, the problem is in the battery. Now you must be wondering, where is the battery in the human body? Yes, we have a battery inside. That battery is called as adrenal gland. Just above the kidney, there is a small hat-like small structure, solid structure, which is called as adrenal gland, which is the most crucial gland in the body, which helps the body to run. Basically, it's the battery inside. So the voltage reflects the status of the battery. If that is low, then the body will start malfunctioning. Well, then what are the causes of the low battery status in a person? There are multiple causes. The machine will analyze and tell. But the simplest of that for us to understand is stress. Because this organ is called, adrenal gland itself is called a stress organ, and it secretes stress hormones. And anything that is stressful to the body in the physical, mental, emotional, or in whatever dimension it is, will squeeze the adrenal gland and make it to function slowly. We call a state as hypoadrenia, where the people find it very difficult to move, very difficult to think, very difficult to work, and they have sluggishness in entire global spectrum of their activity. This is regarding the voltage. Now coming to the amperage. Amperage reflects the brain function. How many functions the brain has? The brain has thousands of functions. Let's see the basic simple functions. Seeing, that's the vision, smell, taste, hearing. These are called as the special functions of the brain. Then you have the control functions like heartbeat, respiration, digestion, metabolic activities, and a lot of other things related to that, called as the control functions. And you have the emotional functions, whether you are happy, sad, agitated, depressed, irritated, and so on. This is again controlled by the brain. And your higher brain functions like your creativity, your desire, your addictive nature, your consciousness, your memory, your willpower, your wisdom, these are all the characters which is defined as higher brain functions, which is again controlled by the brain. These functions put together is reflecting as amperage in the test result. The next one is called as resistance, which reflects the amount of toxic load in the body, the status of your immune system, and whether there is any energy block or flow of energy or flow of blood or flow of lymph inside your body. Next comes the hydration, which is one of the most crucial. As you all know, our body is made up of water 70% and 30% is solid. Even 1% reduction in the water content will lead on to catastrophic reflections in the body function. That's why whenever anyone gets admitted in a hospital, the first they do is put a drip to make the hydration normal. Otherwise, whatever treatment, whatever medicine we give won't work. So hydration is very crucial, and every single function in your body, including your seeing, hearing, thinking, everything requires water molecule as a vehicle to carry the information from the nerve endings to the nerve endings, and from organ to organ, and from different areas of the body. Coming next to that is the oxygen. Oxygen is nothing but fuel, petrol to the car. You buy a BMW which is worth 60 lakhs, but still you require 50 rupees of petrol to run the machine. You cannot say it has to run on its own. How a car of 50 lakhs, which is requiring material worth 50 rupees. Well, any machine for that matter requires the fuel to run. Oxygen is like fuel. Very slight reduction in the oxygen makes a huge difference. As you all know, 3 minutes supply reduction in oxygen to the brain will lead on to the brain death and irreversible damages to the brain. And next comes what is called as the cell vitality, as the power of the cells to regenerate. This value is very crucial because this gives the physician whether the testing patient will be able to recover, how long it will take for him to recover, whether there is any extreme degenerative changes requiring a lot of effort to do. All these factors will be reflected in the vitality of the cells or cell vitality index. And the next most important crucial one is called as major resonant frequency, which reflects the anxiety nature or anxiety status in the patient. Anything between 1000 to 10,000 is normal. About 10,000, the values in the major resonant frequency means that there is a high amount of anxiety and nervousness. And the machine also suggests few of the possible disturbances that happens in the human body, which as a physician I have to check, and it lists out, for example, something like it says that problem with the circulatory system, problem with the electrical system of the brain, or problem with the spinal energy flow, or problem with the oxygen transfer dysfunction and things like that. So basically this machine gives information about the nature of the well-being or health of the patient or the persons who we check. It does not need to have a person with a disease. Even a healthy people can check this to see what is the nature of the problem. And also this acts as a very important preventive health care, because many of the diseases which you are not feeling now can happen after a year or two, which can be diagnosed early using this system, because prevention is always better than cure, and you all know killing the cub is easier than killing the tiger. So this system is very effective for identifying things long before it clinically manifests. So quantum biofeedback is a very, very useful test with absolutely no side effects of anything, because there is no electrical transmission or electrical input into the body, just the quantum waves, and you will absolutely have no difficulty, except you need to sit with the physician and with the machines wired on to you for probably about a couple of hours, which will totally give you the nature of the status of your health. This system, according to the inventor, is a system which is 50 years ahead of our time. It is something like talking to anyone at this point of time about mobile phone. Nobody takes it serious. Just think about talking about mobile phone about 40-50 years. People will think that you are a mad person, because you cannot talk to anyone without a wire being connected as a telephone, the landline telephones. This system is based on a new principle called quantum principle, and very difficult to understand for a mediocre mind person. So this information I have given to you is to enlighten you about what is that is going to happen when you undergo this test, and what this machine after analysis will tell us is in which part of the spectrum of health you lie, whether you are in the healthy spectrum or whether you are in the unhealthy spectrum, or either side of the unhealthy spectrum, and what has made you to go unhealthy, and how far away from the health you are, and what is required to bring you back to health, or rather switch you back to health. This helps in switching you from unhealthy mode to healthy mode. So this machine and this analysis can be done for every single individual to understand and study. And this gives not only the diagnosis, which is helpful for treatment of many conventionally difficult to treat diseases in the other system of medicine, like degenerative diseases, neurodegenerative diseases, autism, learning disorders, mental disorders, emotional dysfunctions, stress of any nature, and you can keep on counting so many things. You will be amazed to understand and know at the end of the session how much light it has thrown into your health, and this system helps us to empower with enough awareness to take in charge of your health and live a healthy life. Thank you.